Your friend no, and no sorry feedback ni kunchen. No kujina anymore. Ujina anymore, and a clerk and a catching so one tenasi. Your man a kunya no tenasi. And you could see, say, AGRADAA was praying. No bonfire. At a point, you could see, say, na the baby ambra.
Yeah.
Because
as a wapem.
Yeah. There was nothing she could do. And you could see, say, utimi pejan and issue you say, you could see, say, and Nema air cost when it's
yeah.
And Ocean, the albums, I say, at a point, I say, or rain and no BB same. I saw or rain a simbi.
Yeah.
And you could no a sin it yasi. No a pigeon it here, Rima. Nothing were done in any. No a friend and lawyer and the prosecutor and a cassa. Or better than who say, no, Shena, do baby and us or ring Cacassa the offering. And you could see she telling herself, the baby Ambra.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready for it. Yes, Papa, we are convict. Yeah, hang off for. Ni hang off for. Ne de net now, could see say, Omukoye, or Dano, a re, and a ja, a fana, a de necotna came. And opa, Omubi do if a fair face ye. But none a care, Nimukura born, Yomukakra, see a cotnasi. But that was how.
Some of man, it can't judge in the car 15 years. Not Nanimunete say, or Kaza, who got them 15 years.
So, time not to go. Say no, Jinawa. I think it will be something different.
Yeah.
Not to go. And she has sat in that chair for quite a while and she was comfortable.
Yeah.
But, I can't say 15 years happy. None a lawyer and 10 years. No catching say, and you could see, say, it came to her as a surprise.
Yeah, 15 years, dear.
It came to her as a surprise. When you see it, say, Senator Sidin Pijanity. One passa. One yashi. So it's like the AGRADAA I know.
Yeah.
The AGRADAA that I know. And the whole day, why you did? And upon the lawyer crying about no because say, yeah, the need up by a show, my in Chanona, case, you know, and there up by a chair, and a day. Yes, women's officer, you mean so. On no one customer my pattern. One thing, this one to them.
Ghana updates ni abusia memo akwa pase wabaso na dofo ama blacko an sem na ogusu di tujano o se e mama AGRADAA abla judge no e boy ye 15 years say onko dem no adofo ye say how mama AGRADAA ye o court room no eno e na ama blacko e cheche ma o ka se abla mama AGRADAA akora e bedu e court no ma no pa o na esi ama no na esere e wo mu dem na emu no omura inside adwumadi e koso no mama AGRADAA enim exercise if you say abla a car say or call 15 years no you see the name as a sample a copama in Paibo and Mamma AGRADAA airborne out of when easy when being no or call to be ama no I dean and now or you say mother for sa na ama bracco edge there nti what did I or some AGRADAA some net torn so if it's your answer no name say some le we mu and BBC about beton or for sa and ama blacko added to be or church Ghana for him in same one as I say, it been say 15 years near the man of AGRADAA, and if you say too much, I saw the more call a low name if you say Blancasa and a bootia and AGRADAA upon non sanny ama or yeno. I was say no, and a cold gains on as I instead of four. Or seen a rain a journey finimu, I know who the obey no one see. The can't say. Obey the nom de Hancock no a good and son of the Nako, maybe also on the Noko for Sa, and Ama Blacko, a canon and some day, or church him, Ama a Ghana for Nibi, or more Montiasi, how I na law, a sifa a year, Juma or a court on another four. You could see some no to tell why you or comment session or F mommy. A high Ghana update.
Me, Ama Braquampofo, Nameti court to them will be. At no point, and a mama part. Or catch a court and say onion. And the man court can say uncle pregnancy test.
Okay.
No, at no point. The whole day of Thursday, Mama Pat Wankasa. The whole day of Thursday, Mama Pat Wankasa. AGRADAA never said anything.
Why did
Not abonten ho, not court them ho. Adia o kan ye nyina ye time a ye de ne hyeka mu. Obi ene bisa ne mama party den na wo beka e de a che okanga. Asem obi na no kan say empire bona not na kan asa. She never said anything. So oma eti social media say na mama party ka che court ne say onyem na court ne say nyam pantinu onko pregnancy. No. Anopana ye kodu ye no. Oba na ne mantle no no de aboduku fe kama ne duku nso de fata ne pa.
Yeah.
Eja otuye na egu ne nsa ho a na enhye da anye duku bi ase wabo a nse eya na egu ne nsa so ne ade a fine. Ye free case no lawyer bonidin prosecutor bonidin na court ene ye judgment enya fe ne ye bebo nkuru bia the court ya no convicting no the court convicting happen or say I'm studying the case down for 2 hours. Go and do a pregnancy test.
Oh, the can say you convicted.
Yes, court they can convict you once.
Oh, because you convicted.
Yes,
okay.
You have been convicted.
Okay.
So go and do a pregnancy test.
Oh, okay. And sana be ma yes no.
And sana be ma yes.
Ah, okay.
Enti eba ne san me no kre me yam hye me man. Because the moment obekọ court oyo ba na ewie case ni nyina asotwe ewom fa enye fine na ye imprisonment na court be ka che say koye pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Bra say ye do kona ti me yera
e be jeli no
ye do kona ti me mem wonya hoden na obetimi adwane a dwane e mabiem ha ko so ye den ye 1 out of 1000 na betimi nya otididi into re videos na the first time na opie ye den betna police care mu no na den e ko police hospital.
Yeah.
Amana koye pregnancy test den e koye na om den e baaye den ni bedu ye na fi court waye ma
yeah.
na eja e fra asem no ni kumbetna na nchen umudi nkomo nwenwenki tintete wo hwa
Angela Siama.
Okay,
Angela Siama.
Teja ye frɛ no no sorry feedback ni ku nchen no ko gina anim ho ogina anim ho na clerk ne ka chen so won tenase ye man na konwa no tenase and you could see say AGRADAA was praying no bompai at a point you could see say na the baby amra.
Yeah.
Because
as a wapem
yeah. There was nothing she could do and you could see say utimi peja na ni hwe wiem say oyedin just oyedin you could see say enema e cost woni tirim.
Yeah.
And ohwe ni dia mo say at a point I say ore na no bibi sem I say ore na sin bi.
Yeah.
Di and you could no we see ni ti ase no apeja ni ti ahwe ma na fi wadane nani no ahwe ne lawyer ni din prosecutor ne kasa obetane ne ho say no hwe na do baby anaso wanwenwen kakra say the also and you could see she telling herself the baby ambra.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready for it. Ye didn't shake him and nya basa pa o ba no pa no obi amfa handcuff ngunza ye didn't call police hospital handcuff ngunza nya yes apa o ye convict ni handcuff ewe ni handcuff no ye didn't tina ho kusi say omukoye oda no ewie ye na eja ye fa na ye didn't kotina kem and afi hu se mfifiri sini kunu nje sema ye na ho hwe nyi fifiri tino anopa omo bedu ifefe fesi ye betina ne ka anim kura bonwom kakra si ye kotena ase but that was how
sama man ka judge ne ka 15 years na nim na say o ka say ukodam 15 years
so time not ho say no gina ho I think it will be something different.
Yeah.
Not so. And she has sat in that chair for quite a while and she was comfortable.
Yeah.
But yenya I can't say 15 years happy. Na the lawyer ne 10 years. No catch and say enya betre. I want to see it as
hey.
And you could see say it came to her as a surprise.
Yeah, 15 years there.
It came to her as a surprise. Wano sinitiasi din pijaniti. Wankasa. Wanyashi. So it's like the AGRADAA I know.
Yeah.
The AGRADAA that I know. And the whole day. Why you did? I know pan the lawyer crying about no beka say, yeah, the knee pee up by a show, my in na case you know, and then up by a chair, and there. Yes, women's officer, you mean so. On no one casa mama pattern. One thing this one to them. When being and one can she. No.
I didn't buy my lawyer and case, Emma on Casa. And I say, so called whether.
Really, I can't tell, but okay. I think, say, he being a good lawyer, he just need to calm head down. Obi wa, it's me funny team.
Yeah.
Meaning, the amasi say judges need be your sentence was it say. Me witness be a quarter. Your sentence in 10 years, na nefa nyina jojoy.
When you stroke.
Ye minimobia, your sentence in traffic. They say, omuni should say kum. I will quarter no as a teacher. 1 + 1. And ye 8 now walk. Obet me aka say 1 + 1 and 8. And ye 4 now also walk. So how you make your argument in the courtroom no, and no na judge be jina so. Na wa hwe emranim. Emra na enie. This is a Criminal Offences Act. Emra na enie. This is the outline. Emra na enie. No judge will go against these laws. Say, Mama Pat, again. Mama Pat, you any person. Mama Pat is saying, for shaggy reasons. Me come and want to make sentence. No, even the judge now will make his judgment. No, share. It is say, teachers, omu lesson notes. Omu we am the comma headmaster. Emma headmaster. Omaki circuit supervisor. Ebeba beshe. Lesson notes now we into judge be a judgment we are and now if you can say on pro be 70 CJ every month your judgment a woman and a share the we are no oh one so train even to the extent say a court the higher court not the be other judge to not the be other ye overturning with decision so your judge our bon and easy ma woman into please. Let me take you to the charge of defrauding by false pretense. Now, you are driving. Then please drive safely. Let me take you to the charge of defrauding by false pretense. Alexandra Ejefula, say thank you for explanation. Now, charge away and a Maya man 15 years. Charge away and a 15 years no nyae. The first charge near or this cabinet TV son and only a friend charlatanic advertisement and no a misdemeanor and can no go dear and can fine pay any be fine no name obi defraud the friend of defrauding by false pretense. It is a serious charge. It is a serious offense. Meaning say a charge with defrauding by false pretense. Because I know the one where the maximum sentence I did man is 25 years. Let me read what the law says. Section 131 of our Criminal and Other Offences Act at 29, at 1960, at 29. Defrauding by false pretense. Miria, obetia si nienti a judge no, o man 15 years. Then you tell me here, say, if the judge is wrong or right, and after going through a full trial from 2023, 2024 to 2025, after Adanse 4, so understand me. Now, defrauding by false pretense. 1. A person who defrauds any other person by a false pretense commits a second-degree felony. A person who defrauds any other person by a false pretense commits a second-degree felony. You got second-degree felony. You murder, you rape, you treason, you high treason, everywhere. And no your first-degree felony, defrauding by false pretense, and a eba. which is a second-degree felony. Asochieno, eson. Asochieno, eson pa. 25 years maximum. Now, let me take you to the explanation of it. Ye kase obi a defraud obi a. And then now a Bema court na kase ane we a yampa we defraud obi. Yankwe 131(2). A person who by means of a false pretense 1 or by personation obtains or attempts to obtain the consent of another person to part with or transfer the ownership of a thing by a false representation of acting in accordance with the instructions, orders, or a request of the president or member of the cabinet, commits a second-degree felony under subsection 1 and is liable to a term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years. A term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years. Not less than. It is a mama part. Judge and ka say, or no dear or money cry, and say your money in fear. A work for my sin 10 years. If it 10 years, echo, any bit me a sentence. Not less than 10 years. In 20 me man 5 years. On me man 9 years. Just a 10 years going. Not less than 10 years. And not more than 25 years. Hello. Inti. You now get it. The court would never give Mama Pat 5 years or 8 years or even 9 years. This is the law. Section 131(2). Section 131(2). In Tianra, there was nowhere, even if the judge had wanted to be lenient with her, and Obemano, 8 years or 5 years. No, there was no room for that. The law is explicitly written here. The law is explicitly written here. Not less than 10 years and not more than 25 years. So it is within the range of 10 to 25 years. This is the reason why courts and Mama Pat 15 years. After a full trial. This is the reason. Now on to me man 5 years. Even if the court had wanted. Now on to me man 8 years. But this is for saying 3 years be 1 year be. No, it is not in the law. Defrauding by false pretense. Judge no on to me manufacture and brani be. On to me, it's yamra. On to me. She has no power to even do that. Emrana said, so we on who diaburoni. E dada obi. O dada obi. Say, obey yes, sir. It's ya emra. Nemrana say, see you find you guilty. Say you find you guilty. Ya mau krano. And say ya mau. Asuchia iswa. E what form? 2 years. Yenti me farm. Yenti me mau 5 years. Yenti me mau 7 years. Yenti me mau 6 years. Yenti me mau 8 years. Yenti me mau 9 years. Just say if it 10 years going. It just say bia if it 11 years going. It is 15 years no. Say Mama Party so kwa appeal. Not even onya osura before ye judge crown pa. Judge be anywhere better so. I'm only 5 years that. Judge be anywhere better so. I'm only 8 years that. Bia. when ya kora no na judge biaka say okay mama Pat may you 5 years in official try 10 years. Yes. And let me also tell you this. The court also put into consideration, are you a first-time offender? Have you had any brush with the law before? Which means, have you been convicted before? Or have you been in prison before? That is it. And let me tell you, it will interest you to know, say, sorry, 2021, Circuit Court 4, Circuit Court 4, the late Justice Emmanuel Isando, the court, Mama Pat was convicted on the charge of charlatanic advertisement. 2021, Circuit Court 4. 2021, Circuit Court 4. The late Justice Emmanuel Isando court. Mama Pat, Mami AGRADAA, she was sentenced. She was convicted and sentenced to a fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis. But me kind charlatanic advertisement in a chile on. Na at that time, charlatanic advertisement, na a idea you can't find somebody more than 25 penalty units. But the court went ahead and fined her 10,000 Ghana cedis, which is more than the 25 penalty units now. Court na kamwasem. Obi say, Nama eba ni say. Patience amevo. So even if she appeals cry, she's definitely gets a minimum of 10 years. Yes. Per emerano. The minimum is 10 years. The maximum is 25 years. So even if she appeals, na onya a God-fearing and lenient judge crampo, not the Otiswamana. Obey me 5 years. But don't forget to say, the court put into consideration, 1, the prevalence of the case. The prevalence of the case. And after the crime rates in which the biada, you bet near Chiobi, you say the narco court, and now or that uncle for social media. So yes, the judge puts all those things in consideration. And when the trial judge was sentencing Mama Pat, justice not to the accused person or the convict, but to also deter other likely-minded people to desist from this act. These were the words of the judge. Or said, this is not a judgment to deter the convict, just the convict, but to deter other likely-minded people. Obi a waponi tirimupo, obi a oyebi. Judge and so catch and say, Lord's Day, Emrade. So, use the gumption. Use your gumption because Emra woho. Emra wagana me de bia maka page we so de bia meka me se Ghana mra. De tena bedroom na kasa mre ni ho. Tena kitchen na kasa mre ni ho. Tena ofie na kasa mre ni ho. Mo amoka mate say celebrities be to social media say na judge na ebie kwan dia to AGRADAA no wo be kwane ama. Please, Emra na maka achron. The minimum is 10 years. The maximum is 25 years. AGRADAA has every right to appeal. The bet me ama wanya ne fa hodie. She said freedom. Say ebi obekwakoya appeal no. Na judge biaka say wa akwete e discharge no. Wa akwete no. Oh endie. O say ye. Eno die the records ne kra no ye clean efi ho. Onye convict bi. Onye convict bi. But say young question it dear. No judge can reduce this sentence to 5 years or 8 years. No. Any mrebiemu. Any mrebiemu. Emrana na me kind of chere. Emrana. She can appeal to the High Court or call High Court. Now High Court refuse, no. High Court, so the sentence is appropriate. It's within the remit of the court. On TSA or High Court, then she can still climb to the Court of Appeal. She can still climb to the Court of Appeal. Or if you Court of Appeal, now Court of Appeal say, oh, still, the 15 years, it's within the remit of the court. Still, Court of Appeal say, I have affirmed the decision. She can still climb and go to the Supreme Court. The last point is Supreme Court. Into our court, I can see me and son. But the danger and the fear are a womb and a say. Appeal a nema miyenu. It's either the case or the sentence is reduced or it is increased. It is either the sentence is increased or reduced, or you are even acquitted. I mean, can say what's me quite lucky. Court Becca say you've been acquitted. Now ya Abranti ya acquitted no after spending 23 years in prison custody. After a motorbike repairer no. Or start ye or call ye Court of Appeal and then he was acquitted. Yes. And you can be acquitted. Sim oko o say ubetimi akọ judge bi ebehwe mfie na yede ma even a high court